we have a battle going on. Here we have almost 2 companies worth of mercs lined up over here on the kickoff. And it is the start of the 4th Succession War. Welcome to the Fight Club. You're in an actual shooting war right now. You've been hired by House Davian to breach a... been hired to do operations on this planet. And the first thing they do, they told you to go breach this line right here.
Oh, yay.
So I think it's like your cannon fodder. At least that's how it feels. We have a line of turrets along here, along with a few mechs in support at the moment. And that is what you're going to have to breach through. You got to break this line, destroy the turrets, and then get down the road. That's your objective. And your objective, so you can see you have your nice little assortment of mechs all ready to go. You even have a whole lance of hunchbacks. That's just kind of cool.
And a big hunchback.
And a big hunchback, which happens to be a
big, tall
banshee that you got in the last campaign. He's been relegated to the front line, which is your one hunchback pilot, which was your best pilot with the AC-20, upgraded to the Banshee. And he happened to have weapons master AC-20.
Yeah.
So there you go. Okay, so that is the mission. Any questions? You know what you got to do? You do have 2 rounds of long tom, 2 salvos of long tom to put on a target. And here you go. Here's your 2 salvos. Put them on your time on target. That is your objective. You'll put those down and then they'll land. All right. Okay, we'll be back. Turn 1 is now complete. Over here we have the recon lances flying forward, and the turrets over here with their AC-2s opened up and totally whiffed, hitting the spider. Over here, these guys are like, well, we're not even in fire support range yet. Neither is the congested traffic jam in the middle. Over here, the first blood goes to the trebuchet at the end with the super pilot, who hit the turret in the middle right there, that turret, with 9 points of damage. And those turrets unleashed onto the trebuchet in response and totally whiffed. So, super pilot in the trebuchet gets first blood once again in the game. So, that's the reason he's called super pilot. Okay, any questions as we continue on to turn 2? These guys over here are holding the line. They got orders not to break past a certain point until break point's reached. So, there. Yep. All right. No questions? The cards have been shuffled?
Ish.
Shuffle-ished. All right, we'll be back. Turn 2. All right, the forces have moved up. The scout lance or semi-lance, they're 1 man short because somebody over there has got the striker lance. They did do a little damage to this turret over here, and then the turrets all shot at the spider over here and missed. These turrets opened up on the hunchback and missed. These mechs over here put an AC-10 from the Atlas into the Wolverine, and the other ones missed trying to hit the hunchback at long range. And then they put some rounds into the turrets over here and the Ostrock from this group over here. So that was everything. There wasn't a lot of damage because everybody's still shooting at long range here, just trading shots. It's typical Succession Wars intersphere battles. Everybody shooting at long range, trying to do some damage. Anything? You got the cards all shuffled up and we're ready to go. Any questions as we move on to turn 3? All right, King. That'd be me. All right, we'll be back. Turn 3. Over here, the recon lance went flying up over here. Put a bunch of energy into the turret system over there, and the spider jumped right next to it and kicked it. And they did a fairly good amount of damage. The fire support team over here unleashed hell on earth over here, hit the turret and just obliterated it with those 4 right there. The center group right here, the other support team, unleashed onto the enforcer, and that just reminds me, I didn't do a pilot check on him. He's good. And the enforcer took a bunch of damage, but he's still standing. And they did some good amount of damage to that hunchback right there. Then this group over here, some of them shot into the turret. Everybody shot at the turret that could shoot at the turret. And some shot at that turret. This turret is looking really bad, but it's still ticking. That turret over there is, it's scratched, but still good, doing good. So your mission so far of taking the turrets out, you got 1 out of 6 so far. Now, they turned around and wow.
Try not to die.
Yeah, something went up my throat. And over here they did a little bit of damage there. And he took damage, and the Atlas fired and put an AC-10 and the LRM-20 into the crab. And it was a PPC, and an LRM-10 went into the trebuchet, who luckily didn't get any crits on him. Opened up on the same spot, so they just kept funneling into the same arm. Yeah, if you keep throwing your left side towards them, it's keep funneling into that left arm. So just to let you know, you may want to change directions. All right, so that is it. That's the end of turn 3. So moving on to turn 4. There we go. Any questions?
Nope.
All right, we'll be back. Turn 4. The massive horde of mercs is moving into the middle, trying to breach the center here. The one thing they did do is the Phoenix Hawk took out the turret right there and blew out that turret. Let's see, over here they tried. You didn't roll for your call for fire.
I did.
Yeah, go roll 2 dice. No, you didn't get it. Okay, and over here, a bunch of these mechs right here, all unleashed onto the poor dervish, and just enough damage to have to make a pilot check, which it passed. Unfortunately, a lot of your damage did hit the water. Yeah.
Well, the dervish.
Yeah.
Clocked him in the head with a PPC.
Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta make a pilot check for that. Oh, he ignored it. 12. And let's see. And over here, this whole side right here unleashed onto the Atlas, and the one hunchback with an AC-20 blew the arm off the Atlas with an AC-20. Just did enough to get a crit. 1 point inside, and he rolls boxcars and blew the arm off. Like, wow, thanks. The Kentaro opened up on the at long range and did a bunch of pepper shots into him, along with the Ostrach right there. Did some large lasers. They put in large laser and AC-10 into the Banshee. These guys hit pretty good. And the one hunchback took it from, got an LRM 10, an AC, oh, what that was, an AC 10, and a LRM 20. So he got ripped up pretty good. But other than that, it was a nasty little run and gun problem that happened right there. So that's the end of turn 4. Any questions? Nope. All right, we'll be back with turn 5. Turn 5. Here we go. Over here, the Phoenix Hawk and the Jenner opened up on the back of the Dervish and proceeded to, well, the hits you did have go into the water. So that was an epic fail there. And then the Panther and the Vindicator and the Orion tried to shoot and proceeded to miss with, I think, everything. Yeah, it was like you did no damage with all these mechs over here.
Yep.
Then the Spider did a little bit of damage on the turret itself. And then the, let's see, the Crab shot the turret. I think the Crab took out the turret, right? I think it was. I think the Crab killed the turret. Then the Kantara rushed over here and got into the mix of the melee, unleashed at point blank range, and did a head hit on the Warhammer. And dazed and confused him for a second. But he passed his piloting skill check. And then they proceeded to get beat down. Oh, yeah. I forgot. He is laying on the ground right there. Ugh. And, oh, yeah, I got to make 2. And makes that one. And, oh, failed that one. We got an unconscious Kantaro laying on the ground right there. So, yeah, that's not good for me. Then, over here, the big thing was that the 2 hunchbacks and the opened up on the Atlas. They're just tore him a new one. And then this hunchback right here in the front, which happens to be a swayback, did 6. He hit with 4 medium lasers and did 6 crits. Yeah, it's not good when you roll boxcars. Yeah. And proceeded to take his engine out and his gyro out with overkill in the engine. And he went supernova, exploded, and he was close enough. The explosion took out that turret back there. So that wasn't any good. And then this Awesome and this Marauder hammered that turret over there. But the interesting thing is that some reinforcements and light mechs come flying in here across the edge over here. And the interesting thing was this little Banshee here at extreme long range at 9 hexes away, or inches, hit him with a AC-20 in the center of the Spider and obliterated him. It went up the front, through the middle, and out the back. So that was the killed Spider with 1 AC-20. It was not a pretty sight. And then this way back here unleashed onto the Griffin and did some good damage to him. And then this hunchback here tore a new one into the that assassin. Tore him up pretty good too. And let's see. I didn't do very well though. I did some damage, other than I got a few head hits here and there with the turrets. You know, a plink here, like, oh, take an AC-2 to the head, and on the Marauder, and it was an LRM 20 hit the Marauder in the head too. So, but you made your pilot's unit fall asleep. So that's the end of turn 5. It was a mitigated disaster. Things just died in droves really quickly. Reinforcements got hammered hard. That Banshee pilot is nasty, along with that Awesome and the Warhammer. Those 3 mechs are pretty nasty mechs. Okay, anything else we got? That's into 6, other than one individual's over here going, I need to go to bed. Frustration. He's eyeballing the hammer and looking at his dice. All right, we'll be back. Turn 6. Over here, the dervish backed away and the Phoenix Hawk jumped in behind him and did nothing. The Jenner that was right there shot the dervish and put 4 medium lasers into him, which was kind of interesting. The guy in the 6 couldn't do anything, but the guy in front of him could. Yeah, makes interesting. Panther totally whiffed over here, shooting the dervish. The big gun down was everybody's trying to take out the Ostrock and the Enforcer right there. And the end result was they both got the heck shot out of them, but they're still standing. And then there was a big circle around and punch and kick everybody. Little mess going on. And after all that punching and kicking, everybody's still standing, which is interesting. Over here, the passed out Kentaro is dead. They caved his skull in, basically. Large laser to the head. Move. Yeah. When you already got damage to the head and then you get a large laser to the head, that's kind of in game over. The catapult is like sitting right here going, I can't hit the broadside of a barn if I'm leaning inside it. Now, okay, the Awesome over here unleashed onto the Griffin and hammered it hard, opened up a torso. And then this lowly little spider comes over here and hits him with 2 medium lasers and hits the ammo and exploded him into a big giant fireball with shrapnel going everywhere. Also the trebuchet right there hit it with 3 medium lasers into the Ostrock. Now over here, the assassin was hit with the AC-20 from the Awesome, blew his torso out, and then the few extra medium lasers cored him out and finished the job. And then the Banshee hit the Commando and just ripped him to pieces. And then the Hunchback right there finished him off. And then when he got finished off, his fusion reactor exploded into a big little bitty fireball and did some damage to everybody in that area. And they took out from the grave, after he exploded, he took out the Hunchback's hip actuator. But with a hip actuator, he's still standing. So this little sway back right there is now a real slow sway back. And then this Hunchback's in there going, I'm looking the wrong direction. And these turrets over here did some damage to the, they did a bunch of damage to the Marauder, but then the Marauder's still standing. Didn't fail. It's like nobody failed their pilot skill checks today in this turn, which is interesting. Oh, did you kick? You kicked, right? Yeah, you kicked. You did do something, so I forgot. I gotta make he has to make his pilot check, and he's good. All right. So nobody, which is interesting, is that many times we rolled for pilot checks, and nobody failed this turn on both sides. All right, so we're now moving on to the next turn, which is turn 7. And over there we see a red die. That means at the beginning of the turn there's going to be artillery going to drop. All right, we'll be back. Turn 7. The Dervish jumped up on the hill, didn't fire anything because he was running hot, and decided not to shoot anything, but the Phoenix Hawk stood there and hit him with a large laser, and a Jenner hit him with a medium laser, and he took a 1 point of damage to his center torso, chance of critical, hit his gyro, took his gyro out. he falls and goes kaplunk. And sayonara for that guy. He's just laying there, taking a nap. And the Panther fired his PPC, and I think he was trying to hit this thing, but I think he was like aiming over here. I don't think this Panther in all 7 turns has hit a thing. Has he? I don't think he has, no. It's time for the Panther to go back to firing school. The enforcer fell back behind this burning out turret right there, and then the hatchetman jumped in behind him and hit him with his hatchet in the back and hit his ammo with his AC-10, which had a few rounds left in it, and exploded and then took out the mech. So just enough to finish quartering him out by 1 point. Over here, which was an amazing thing in itself, the Oshrock was falling back. The individual running the crab decided he's going to fire 2 large lasers, and he said they're going to hit the head. And what did he do? He hit the head. He called shot the head with his dice and did it. So he killed the Oshrock pilot. And over here, everybody opened up on that poor turret that's way over there, and there is a artillery strike about ready to hit it. So at the beginning of the turn, artillery is going to hit, and most likely that turret's going to be gone before they even get to do anything. So if you want to roll the damage, you see where it goes before we even go. Not even worry about starting a new turn. Just 4 sets, that's all you need. And it's gone.
It's gone.
Everything hit the front of the turret, so nothing in the turret itself. Alright, so the turret is taken out by the artillery, and that is the end of the game. No more. So you breached the wall here, and the road is open for the follow-on Davian forces. And at the cost of 1 mech that has to go to the repair shop for slowly limp off the field, and you got a bunch of internal damage and a few other mechs, you're not doing too bad. And some guys have to go to the medevac or hospital to get patched up because they do have some head hits on them. Yep. All right, so that is the end of the game, and you have 2 mechs laying on the field that are taken out by head hits, so dead pilots. And then you have this one here that's knocked out right here. So that's it. You might have some salvage. All right, we'll be back some other time.